So, I know the N-word is obviously a very controversial topic, but I have actually contrived a way in which white people can reclaim it as a non-racial, regular derogatory remark. Alright, hear me out. Comedy actually has to be unafraid to address the most major issues of every political environment that comes to America, or we are not properly taking advantage of our freedom of speech. Unfortunately, very painful but dumb things, including racism and sexism, are still relevant to culture, and thus comedy must still find tactically and tactfully humorous ways to poke fun at these issues until they wheeze their last disgusting breaths upon the land before slithering deep into the depths of the ocean and dying forever. What I am doing here, however, is not very tactful, so I'm sure most people can be a little more clever than this if they think they want to do something similar, but enough of that, we're getting back into character. I've discovered how to reclaim the N-word for white people, so hear me out. So when I was a young, edgy preteen, raising myself on the internet because I was an only child and I certainly wasn't about to learn anything useful from my shamefully childish parents, I always really appreciated a good, well-phrased, prolonged insult. It was a habit I actually started in 4th grade when my friend and I used to go out to the swings and call each other terrible names for fun, and before that, when I would play Diablo 1 online and people would PK me and steal my plus 10 durability thinking cap. But I digress. Now, when I looked at the N-word back then, I always felt that it implied so much more than a mere racial insult. It is like telling someone that even amongst and compared to inhuman slaves, they are pathetic and vile trash. It is a far more depraved insult than the mere racial connotations, but the racial connotations do, of course, add several extra layers to it. Layers of what? I don't know. Filth? Other kinds of layers too. Layers of layers. I wasn't such an edgy preteen, though, that I ever attempted to anonymously use the slur on various online forums. I knew that was clearly wrong. But, in respecting it as one of the best closers to an insult, I did always want to find a way that a white person like me could again use the term without it being inappropriate. And I figured it out, there is a way for white people to reclaim the N-word. Alright, I'm glad everyone is as excited as I am. Alright, so here's how it goes. Say there's a person who's an absolute piece of shit, right? It doesn't matter what color they are, but for the example, let's say they're not black. They can be Asian, white, Filipino, Jewish. It doesn't matter, but they are racist against black people, and they're a piece of shit for other reasons. So let's say this piece of shit's being a piece of shit, right? And they're getting in your business for no reason, and you need to get it through to this piece of shit that you're not putting up with their shit. So here it is. If a totally racist, non-black asshole has a well-deserved and proper insult coming their way, I think a white person could call them the N-word non-racially and able to trigger them and make them realize how shitty they are to other people. Just hopefully it wouldn't end up in some wacky sitcom misconception where the racist person thinks you're actually bonding with them over racism, and no matter what you call them, they continue to mistakenly bond with you, always thinking you're agreeing with them as you descend into a zany series of escalating absurd misunderstandings. That probably wouldn't happen, though. More than likely, the N-word will make the actually racist person feel bad about themselves, so in retrospect, it will have been used by the white person for a good cause. And, I guess that's it. That's really the only situation I could come up with in which I think white people can effectively use the N-word as a, non-racial derogatory remark, or just, to hurt someone who deserves to be hurt. See what I mean, though? It could work. I just wanted to share that slight little loophole that I found in case anybody else is also working on finding ways to get the N-word back to its rightful owners. Alright, I'm sorry. Okay. In all seriousness, though, racism is one of the actual dumbest possible things. People need to be more individualist, as in they need to hate one another for the individual properties that they dislike about the people who they personally know. Hating people one doesn't know based on assumptions is just painfully dumb. But it's fine to hate people who deserve to be hated due to their own poor choices. That's really all there is to it. All right, I think the next thing I'll tackle, we'll get into trans bathroom rights. That needs to be put to rest once and for all. I'll take care of that next episode. So just make sure to subscribe and like and all that.